Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be diving into the world of ELROND, specifically talking about the price action of eGold. We're going to be giving you a most up-to-date price analysis on eGold to see exactly what could happen next. As we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit that like button, I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right. With this said, done out of the way, let's actually take a look at what's going on here with ELROND. So obviously this is the daily chart, guys, and we have got a fib running from the previous high that we had that was set up in April of 2021. Obviously pulling down to the low areas in June, right? This actually came back to a $53.36 eGold, right? And we obviously have a good surge to the upside, really talking about hitting the $300 target before pulling back down in September. And then obviously now we're looking to just push up a little bit. Now, I do anticipate a new all-time high here for ELROND, and I do anticipate a good surge to the upside that actually could see us hitting $455 really soon. And this actually basically comes back on something else I've been talking about recently, which is a cup and handle pattern, really running from the top of our April high across to the all-time high that we actually had in the mid-September, right? If we actually pull that down, what we can do, of course, is see the cup there. And when we actually had from that pullback was now the formation of our handle. We haven't actually completed the handle just yet, but we are definitely working on it. And this actually targets out $455, right? So if we actually grab hold of my arrow, and what we're looking for here is to basically push up to our target, okay? So right now, everything's looking pretty good. My expectations are that we are basically really are targeting out a new all-time high, probably within the next week. I would have thought that would have come in, and obviously go past our 1.618, it's $365, and approach that $455 target. I think once that comes in November, that's going to be a good area for finding a bit of a pullback, nothing too serious, and then we'll continue the growth. Overall, with the chart here, we've spoken about this a few times, we can see we can see ELROND here basically using the top of our April area and the low of our June area on the chart. We can see a $869 eGold, right? This is a 220% move from the current position. Now, this is actually quite conservative, guys. It's based on just one trend. And again, if we actually come up to the weekly, we have got a slightly more, I guess, a more extreme version. If we actually take into consideration all the different trends, so i.e. the trend of where things started back in October 2020 through to where they got as high in April, down to the lows of June. These are three anchor points, actually, from our low point down here, the high that we had here, and the low down here. These three anchor points can be used to give us an idea of the overall trend and what to expect to happen next. With this trend-based fib, we can actually see ourselves moving out to just over $1,000, okay? So $1,000 is probably the extreme end of the bull run for this particular cycle, because this is actually based on the trends that we've seen so far, right? Three anchor points driving out $1,064. So that's a good kind of price target. I think $1,000 is going to be a psychological barrier. I think that's definitely going to be lots of selling pressure around that area there anyway. So again, good to see those kind of things come in. For the most part, though, I think being conservative in the bull run isn't too bad. People often say that they get in late and they get out early, okay? Basically, take your profits, don't get too greedy, and you're going to be okay. Now, for those people who are more seasoned or are trading, then obviously using those trend-based fibs are going to show you kind of, show you an area where you can scrape a few additional profits, right? But for the most people who are maybe novices or new to the space, not quite used to crypto trading or the volatility of it, then thinking about some of these targets here, 365, 558, 750, and 869 are going to be some pretty good conservative targets for you to potentially lock in some profits ahead of the bear market. And of course, the bear market, guys, is where the money is made, because that's where you accumulate these cryptocurrencies at a huge discounted rate ahead of where you go in the next cycle. So do stick around for the bear market, guys, specifically if you're new to the space and you haven't been experiencing a bear market before. But that is where you make the real money. The bull runs are really just about managing your emotions and keeping your strategy in check. And if you're actually serious about making serious cash, generational level wealth, then it's the bear market for you, and that is where you're going to be building very, very good positions. Right, so overall this daily chart's looking very good. Good target of $455. That's the cup and handle completing. And again, good targets. $869 for the conservative and $1,064 if you're a bit of a risk taker wanting to live life on the edge, but also experienced in the space, and you can kind of see that kind of coming in. Okay, so overall everything's looking pretty good from this kind of perspective. Let's actually jump on down into our hourly chart. The hourly chart shows us a bit more of what's actually been going on. We can see there's a breakout right here, and again this is actually a bit of a triangular wedge. If I just grab this, let me just throw that on here, we can see that that has been working up, and then we just recently broke out of this triangular wedge. This trend has now changed, and obviously we have our arrow towards our $455. Now, what's actually going on here, and why did we see this? Well, does this actually fit to anything that we've seen before? Well, let's see if we actually have anything here. So obviously this would be your A, that would potentially be B, C. This is an odd one, so potentially not quite. That's a bit of an oddity, but it's possible, but it's odd. It's not something, it's not very neat. But let me see. We've got A, B, and we got C. We've got A here by B, and then it's C. We got another A, B, and C, which is fine. And then we've got another slightly bigger move here, an A, a B, and a C. This is the odd one out, but it's strange, but it doesn't mean we're invalidated. And this one, on the other hand, this is the odd one here. So we come up and then we come down. So yeah, basically there you go. And then we got the break. So there is a bit of a triangle in here, but it's not as neat as I would like it to be. But we can say that there's basically an Elliott wave triangle. D is very odd. Okay, so coming up that high, it doesn't fit perfectly, but you do need 2 anchor points on each of these trends. This one and this one does work, but having D above our B is it is odd. So it's not neat in that regard, but it does kind of fit still. And again, at the bottom here we have 2 anchor points as well. So again, that kind of works. Whether or not we want to call it Elliott waves triangle, yeah, it's questionable, but there is a triangular wedge. We can just call it that and move on out of here, and pushing up into a nice kind of impulsive move. Normally from here though, we would be looking at 5 impulse waves to the upside. Okay, and again, this is probably going to be taking us out towards our $455. Now, we obviously talk about that as in time. Timing is going to be the hardest thing to actually gauge, but approximately we would be looking at trying to get this completed in November. We all look for 2 pullbacks on that move to the upside. These pullbacks would normally have in them an A, B, and C correction, so we're monitoring that. What we want to avoid is any impulsive downward trends. Okay, so what we don't want to do is see basically a 5 impulse waves to the downside, because then that's going to basically be a downward trend. So what we're really looking for here is to continue this growth to the upside, find this ABC, push up and into 3rd, find another ABC, and then push up into 5th. Okay, and again, then that will complete into a bigger ABC move to the downside. And it wouldn't be too extreme, but you get the idea. So it'll probably be something like this coming in here. And then usually you find yourself inside this kind of move, either with another triangle, okay, of sorts, trading in and then blasting up again. So will be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. But for now, everything's looking very, very good on ELROND here in EGLD. We've got the break now. So we are looking to move to new all-time highs, okay, above that $300 range. That should come in relatively quickly, I would have thought. And then once we hit that new all-time high, find the correction, and then push on up, again, moving up nicely towards our area of 455. It might be around the $400 range, then pull back with another ABC before going ahead, hitting that 455, and then pulling back from there. Overall, everything's looking very good on ELROND right now, and progress is working nicely. And again, I'm not overly concerned because this is a project that I think has long-term value as well. So no problem with carrying over into the bear market, but we do want to lock in some profits to accumulate heavily in that bear market as well. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.